Every U.S. military base. Mapped. The United States of America keeps a vast network of military installations, both domestically and abroad. These installations are essential to joint operations with allied forces, fast deployment, logistical support, and national security. Understanding the strategic location and operational capabilities of the U.S. military can be gained by mapping these bases. This investigation highlights the strategic significance and distinctive qualities of important domestic and foreign bases. Major U.S. military installations, like Joint Base Lewis McChord in Washington, Fort Hood in Texas, and Fort Bragg in North Carolina, are essential hubs for personnel training and deployment. These facilities provide a variety of activities, including large-scale armored drills and airborne and special forces missions. For naval preparedness and aerospace operations, respectively, Naval Base San Diego and Eglin Air Force Base are vital. The U.S.'s global reach is exemplified by sites like as Camp Humphreys in South Korea, Naval Support Facility Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, and Ramstein Air Base in Germany. In order to counter threats in the area and assist friends, these bases offer forward positions, strategic refueling locations, and logistical hubs. The critical significance of these outposts in preserving security and stability is further demonstrated by the existence of U.S. military sites in vital places such as Naval Station Rota in Spain and Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. These sites' strategic locations allow for quick reaction to emergencies, continuous military operations, and a strong defense posture. But this vast network also faces obstacles, including budgetary constraints, geopolitical unrest, and environmental effects, all of which have an impact on how U.S. military stations develop in the future. Armed Forces in the U.S. 1. North Carolina's Fort Bragg. The XVII Airborne Corps, the 82nd Airborne Division, and the U.S. Army Special Operations Command are housed at Fort Bragg, one of the biggest military sites in the world. It is an essential fast deployment site for airborne and special operations units due to its size and advantageous location. 2. Texas Fort Hood. The 1st Cavalry Division and II Corps are based at Fort Hood, which offers a sizable training ground for armored and mechanized forces. Due to its enormous land area, it can host large-scale exercises that are necessary to get troops ready for deployment in a variety of war situations. 3. Lewis McChord Joint Base, Washington. The resources of McChord Field, home of the U.S. Air Force, and Fort Lewis, home of the U.S. Army, are combined into this joint base. Airlift, medical evacuation, and special missions are all supported by this essential power projection tool for the Pacific region. 4. San Diego Naval Base, California. Naval Base San Diego, one of the main home ports for the U.S. Pacific Fleet, facilitates the operations of more than 50 ships, including aircraft carriers and submarines. Maintaining naval readiness in the Pacific Ocean depends on it. 5. Florida's Eglin Air Force Base. With a focus on air armament and aerospace operations, Eglin AFB serves as a vital testing and training ground for the U.S. Air Force. In addition, it is home to the largest Air Force facility in terms of geographical area, providing a varied setting for testing novel weaponry. Global military outposts. 1. Germany, Ramstein Air Base. The U.S. Air Forces in Europe and Air Forces Africa are headquartered at Ramstein Air Base. It serves as a vital center for logistics, including vital medical evacuation services and airlift capabilities for operations in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe. 2. Naval Support Establishment British Indian Ocean Territory or Diego Garcia. This isolated facility, which is situated in the Indian Ocean, provides support for American Navy operations in the Pacific, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. It offers a tactical site for refueling ships and airplanes, as well as for arranging military hardware. 3. South Korea's Camp Humphreys. The majority of U.S. forces stationed in South Korea are housed at Camp Humphreys, the biggest U.S. military installation abroad. It acts as a forward base for a prompt reaction to any North Korean aggression and backs the alliance between United States and South Korea. 4. Qatar's Al Udeid Air Base. The forward headquarters of the United States Air Force's Central Command and U.S. Central Command are located at Al Udeid Air Base, which is a vital air power center in the Middle East. It provides support for aviation refueling, reconnaissance, and combat missions throughout the region. 5. Spain's Naval Station Rota. The activities of the U.S. Navy's Sixth Fleet in Europe and Africa are strategically supported by this facility. Its position near the Mediterranean Sea's entrance is essential for regulating maritime traffic and assisting NATO missions. Strategic significance: rapid deployment, logistical support, and force projection are strategic imperatives that are emphasized by the worldwide dispersion of U.S. military bases. These bases allow the United States to sustain a presence in strategic areas, assist allied activities, and react swiftly to crises. 1. Sped-up implementation. Strongholds such as Joint Base Lewis McChord and Fort Bragg are built for quick deployment of personnel and supplies. The United States is able to rapidly project power to any location in the world thanks to their vast airlift and logistics capabilities. Fort Bragg is a leader in quick mobilization. It is home to special operations and airborne personnel. Airlift and medical evacuation are supported by Joint Base Lewis McChord, which improves the military's capacity to react swiftly to emergencies. Because of their advantageous locations and state-of-the-art facilities, these sites are critical to preserving the preparedness and global reach of the U.S. military. 2. Support for logistics. Crucial logistical support for operations is provided by bases like Naval Support Facility Diego Garcia and Ramstein Air Base. They ensure prolonged military operations by acting as centers for airlift, refueling, and medical evacuation. For the purpose of medical evacuations and airlifts throughout Europe, Africa, and the Middle East, Ramstein Air Base is essential. Naval Reserve Establishment Diego Garcia, with its advantageous location in the Indian Ocean, provides assistance to naval activities throughout the Pacific, Southeast Asia, and the Middle East. The logistical capacity of these locations is critical to preserving the operational effectiveness and readiness of U.S. military units across the globe. 3. Projection of power. The United States is able to project power into vital areas thanks to the strategically located locations, such as Al Udeid Air Base and Naval Station Rota. As a major center for operations in the Middle East, Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar supports combat missions, air refueling, and reconnaissance. At the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea, Naval Station Rota in Spain facilitates NATO operations and manages marine traffic. This presence strengthens the United States' ability to uphold peace and security throughout the world by thwarting potential enemies, assisting friends, and guaranteeing freedom of navigation in crucial sea lanes. Difficulties and debates. The vast network of American military installations is not without its difficulties and disagreements. Geopolitical difficulties, host country hostility, and the financial burden of maintaining these installations are among the issues. 1. Cost of money. Military bases are expensive to operate and maintain. The distribution of resources and the necessity of striking a balance between military readiness and financial accountability are topics of continuous discussion as defense budgets come under examination. The vast network of sites necessitates large financial outlays for personnel, infrastructure, and logistics. Policymakers must therefore carefully evaluate spending priorities, taking into account the advantages of keeping a strong worldwide presence in addition to fiscal constraints and the requirement for effective resource management. Decisions over base closures, realignments, and upcoming military infrastructure investments are influenced by this issue. 2. Tensions in geopolitics. Geopolitical tensions can be heightened by the existence of U.S. bases, especially in areas where the local populace or government is against the U.S. military presence. Residents of Okinawa, Japan, have long objected to the significant American military presence there because of worries about noise pollution, security, and environmental effects. These conflicts have the potential to sour diplomatic ties and inflame anti-American sentiment. Other host nations, where the American military presence is viewed as an encroachment on sovereignty, have similar objections. Careful diplomatic engagement and measures to lessen the base's negative effects on nearby populations are needed to address these challenges. 3. Impact on the environment and society. Military installations can have a big social and environmental influence on the communities around them. Problems including fuel and waste pollution, aircraft noise, training exercises, and land use disputes are all too common. These effects may put a burden on regional ecosystems, upend local communities, and spark confrontations between locals and military officials. Implementing sustainable practices, reducing ecological footprints, and interacting with local stakeholders to ease social tensions are all necessary to address environmental concerns. For military stations around the world, Striking a balance between social and environmental responsibility and military operational requirements is still a major challenge. Prospects for the future. It is possible that U.S. military bases will need to sustain important installations, combine resources, and adjust to new security threats in the future. The base network's evolution will be shaped by shifting geopolitical circumstances and technological breakthroughs. 1. Integration of technology. Advanced technology, such as artificial intelligence, cyber capabilities, and unmanned systems will be progressively integrated into future facilities. The operational effectiveness and defensive capabilities of military sites will be improved by these developments. 2. Realignment in geopolitics. The locations of U.S. military sites around the world will need to be adjusted in response to changes in geopolitical relationships and new threats. For instance, the Indo-Pacific region is becoming more crucial in containing China's expansion, which is why bases there are receiving more attention. 3. Actions for sustainability. The United States military is probably going to invest in sustainable techniques for its facilities as environmental concerns gain traction. This covers energy-efficient construction, renewable energy sources, and steps to lessen environmental effect. Conclusion. Mapping every U.S. military base provides a comprehensive overview of the strategic positioning and operational capabilities of the U.S. military. These bases are essential for maintaining global stability, supporting allied operations, and ensuring the rapid deployment of forces. However, the network of bases also faces challenges related to cost, geopolitical tensions, and environmental impact. The future of U.S. military bases will depend on technological advancements, geopolitical shifts, and the ability to balance military readiness with sustainability and fiscal responsibility. Addressing these challenges will be crucial in adapting the base network to meet evolving security threats and international commitments. Let us know in the comments what you think about the every U.S. military base, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more captivating content on our YouTube channel.